Admit it. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it loud. Got you feeling so proud. This is how we do it now. Daily dose with this. Got you coming back for more.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Daily Dose with Des. Today's gonna be a little bit more informal, so get ready with me because it's college football week 0, beginning week, whatever. And I have to get ready because I'm supposed to be heading to the MEAC SWAC kickoff challenge. That's where I'm supposed to be. So I have my coffee. That's how I start my days. I have this cute little mug. I got it from this one I got from Mexico. I thought it was my Aruba cup, but Mexico, so a little cute. And it has like the places in there. The place that I went, Tulum, super cute. I actually love it because it has this spoon. Yeah. So this is going to be very, like I said, informal. I am still going to talk sports. I'm still going to talk all those things that I'm going to be actually putting my face on, getting ready, um, and just chit chatting. So that's what this is. Okay. So sometimes I'm going to do these because it's the Des Show. This is what we do. Okay. And I didn't have my breakfast yet. So, which one is cold? I have some peaches. I mean, I don't know what that's going to do, but it's a start. That's a start. So today at 12, it is the kickoff for Iowa State and K-State, Kansas State, by the way. And that is on ESPN. And that is the one they play. Is that the one they play in Dublin? Yes, that's the one that they play in Dublin. So I remember last year, Georgia, it was last year? Georgia Tech was in Dublin. One of the years, Georgia Tech was in Dublin. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I love that they have a game over there. I love that they start the week and start college football over there. I just feel like it's just, international. And the NFL is doing it. The NFL is becoming um, more, I would say global. I know it's like when I think of like national or our nation, obviously I think of like the US. And I guess we can say like our side of the world, but they're really expanding. And I think it's really cool that college football is doing the same thing. I do wish they had more games over there, but I think over time it'll just get there. They'll have more games and all that jazz. Thursday, we'll see Boise State in South Florida. And then Friday, that's the 28th. And then Friday, the 29th, it'll be Western Illinois and Illinois. On Saturday, opening it up at 12 is Texas and Ohio State. And then you have Syracuse and Tennessee also at 12. And then they all just like kick off. Another key one that you want to look for is Georgia versus Marshall, and that's going to be September 30th at 3:30. Alabama and Florida State is 3:30 as well on ABC. Georgia's going to be on ESPN. What's another good one that you're going to be looking for? LSU and Clemson also on the 30th at 7:30. And I don't know. I mean, I know why, but opening up your week for HBCU for Arkansas Pine Bluff, they're opening up against Texas Tech at 7:30 on ESPN Plus. Ole Miss is opening against Georgia State at 7:45 on the SEC Network. Virginia Tech and South Carolina, I think that's going to be pretty decent. Virginia Tech is trying to come back and really regain traction with their football team. I don't think that they're going to beat South Carolina. I just don't. But that's going to be on the 31st. It's also part of the AFLAC kickoff. And that is at 3. And then you have Notre Dame and Miami, also with the AFLAC kickoff. and that is at 7:30. So you have lots of football, lots of options. And then you have your NFL options. So today is like NFL heaven, right? All the games kick off. Actually, there's one kicking off at noon. Commanders and Ravens. So you have games at 12, 1, 4, 7, 7:30, 8:30, 10. So you have so many games. Today is like football heaven. It's football heaven, okay? Like all day. You should have a good game to watch every few hours. I mean, if you wanted to break it up and watch a piece of the game every hour, you could. And it's like football. This is the perfect time to be at one of those sports bars and like where they have the games on the multiple TVs, so you just like have your head on a swivel and just like look. While I'm talking, I need to be doing my makeup because I need to get going. We're gonna also finish off my hair too. We're gonna hope that it pray. We're gonna pray right now. We're gonna pray that my hair, I laid it down. I'm doing a nice slick back pony because it's been raining and the weather with my hair is never friendly. But yeah, it's like football heaven. Today is football heaven. It's my favorite day of the year. We have preseason wrapping it up, heading into regular season, and then we have college season beginning. How could you not like today? Okay, I have this like band on my head. So for my girlies that have like curly hair, and I know like lots of girlies don't watch this, but fellas, if you have a girlfriend with a curly hair, get her a nice like slick band like this. So when she lays her hair down, her edges and stuff is like protected and it lays it down. Okay. I love this thing. It's velvet and it just feels wonderful. I don't want to pull it up too much. So far it looks so far so good from what I can see. I have my little flexies back here. I feel like I'm getting ready for a dance recital because dance recitals, if you know, you know, we always have like you got to get your hair, your makeup done. Your hair's normally in like flexies or some type of curlers, and they're like big. Sometimes it's up on the top of your head. It's like a bouquet, and I love it. So yeah, okay. I need to prep. I already prepped my skin a lot already before I came up here. Um. I have my sunscreen on already. You need to be wearing sunscreen. That's for everyone. You need to wear sunscreen. All right. There's where I go. It's so early. And I'm also kind of late because I was supposed to be up and on this. I told myself I was going to be up and ready doing this show, getting myself together by like 9. I was supposed to be on here at like 9. So I'm an hour behind. But luckily, I have time to maneuver. Okay, so I have to get better at this, like talking and doing at the same time. So for the Me Sweat Kickoff Challenge, I've been talking about it already, but this is going to be like my pregame preview because when I get there, one thing I'm probably not going to want to do is do the preview. But do the pregame preview for Me Swag. And I'm actually waiting to see if I'm actually going to be going. I think that's the reason why I'm like dragging my feet because I don't want to do a full face of makeup just for me to not be able to go because I'm going to be PISSED. You know what that spells. But anyway, so you have I'm going to start with the band of the year. So we sat on a press conference, and if you did not stream it, you can actually stream it to go see it. And I thought it was really great. There was only the 2 top dogs, which was North Carolina Central, and they had their band director on, and then you had Southern University, the human drugs, and they had their director on, which I thought was lovely, actually, getting to see and hear from both of them. What I gathered is that North Carolina Central is still essentially like they have a band, right? They have a band, but they're still working on like building the program to have the reputation and to have the excitement and all the glitter that a band like Southern has, or Jackson State, FAMU, even North Carolina A&T, right? And you look at the preseason ratings, North Carolina A&T is sitting at the top. Very surprising to me. And then it was Jackson State, and then it was, I can't remember the third band. And I think that Southern, in my opinion, was pretty low. And I was just wondering, like, okay, they call it band media, so the band media people voted on those bands and put them in rank for the preseason. Now, part of me feels like Southern receiving a lower ranking than I expected is because they have, and he's mentioned like they have a lot of freshmen, a lot of babies as I call them, coming onto the band. And I wonder if that's just like a way to try to like kick them into gear, like give them some You know, people think that when you get the competition, I can't find my. I'm sorry, I look crazy because I'm looking for my face cream. I can't find it. Well, oh darling, I can't find it. I don't know. So we'll just have to use. I'll have to use this to back up, I guess. All right. As I was saying, I felt like that's a way to try to like kick them into gear, give them a little push, give them a little But it's like, are you serious? I don't know. I don't know why they were given such a low ranking for the band. I definitely thought they were going to be higher because that's just my thing. I just have the expectation that they are going to always be higher up, especially them and the Marching 100. I feel like those two bands do really really well. A&T has always had a great band, so I wasn't necessarily surprised. I was surprised they were sitting at number one, but I wasn't surprised at the whole thing because they've had a pretty good band. Even when I went and toured during college, like the band was just one of the things that they just talked about so much. I want to like tell you a secret. Like part of me wants to go back to college or just so I could be in the band. I want to go back to college just so I can be in the band. So even if it's just for like a semester, I feel like I can go up there. I obviously would want to dance. Fun fact about Dez. Okay, so I told you guys before on the show, slowly but surely, I'm going to start, telling you guys things about me and letting you opening up so like who is this person. And it's really, hopefully the people that are with me in the beginning are still with me in the end, obviously. But as it grows, then you guys could like, if people say things or whatever, they can be like, actually no, that's not how she is, that's not her, right? But I have lots of fun facts, but in this term, fun fact, growing up, I was always in some type of musical something. I played. I gotta switch my accounts. I played the flute. That was my very first instrument. My gosh, why am I stuttering? The flute was my first instrument ever, right? And then from the flute, my mom played the trumpet, so I wanted to play the trumpet, but it just like wasn't my thing. And I never wanted to play the clarinet. I don't know why. The clarinet just was never something that I actually wanted to play. I just was like, I don't think I want to do that. Um, I did try to trumpet for like 2 weeks. It was just not my jam, and I said I don't know what my mother was thinking. I don't know what she was thinking, but this right here, not for me, baby. Mm-mm. I didn't like it at all. So I passed that up, right? I had the flute for so long. I was just like, I'm gonna try other things. Like I just wanted to try everything because I love music in general. Love, love, love music. And it's one of the things that I feel like is like within my spirit, within my soul, like all the things. I don't know if I'm supposed to have some type of life in music. I'm not sure, but I've always loved music and I've always been involved in music in some type of way. So because I was growing up, I've always been a cheerleader and a dancer as well. So I went to dance, I went to cheer, and then I was also in music. So in school when we grew up, we had like, yeah, we have music class, but we also just have like music and choir after school. I don't even know if that makes sense. But I always loved going to music. I don't even call it a band because I wasn't like in the band because I was in cheer. But I used to always go to band. So like I said, my mom was playing the trumpet and I was like, this is not gonna work. This is not for me. So I didn't want to play the trumpet after I tried it for a week. And then I went to the tuba. Yeah, little old me, big old thing. I always just want to be different. I always just want to push myself. I always just want to do stuff that people tell me I can't do. And everybody kept telling me, you can't play the tuba. You can't play the tuba. I'm like, why not? It's gonna come around me, and I'm gonna do great. Okay. I did okay. I did okay. I did okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't great, but it wasn't like absolutely horrible positivity. I just got tired of carrying it, the big thing. I didn't want to do it. We went to music class and we had to do it after school. I didn't want to do it. I'm like, this is just not it. It's too heavy. It's too heavy. So it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It's just that I didn't want to do it after a while. I was like, this ain't gonna work. And then I finally settled on the French horn. I settled on the French horn. I just thought it was the cutest thing. I thought it was so different. It was so unique. I was, if I think I was the only French horn player up until I got to high school. And I think in high school there was two of us, and the other person was a boy. So I was the only girl. I tend to be the only girl doing a lot of different things because I always just like to put myself outside the box. I want to think outside the box. I want to do things outside of the box. I don't want to be the same as anyone else because I just always like to stick out. I don't know where I get that from. I guess the Lord just put that onto my being that I'm always just going to want to be different and unique. And I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I think if you're a person that wants to be the same, cool. If you want to think outside the box, absolutely fantastic, cool. But whatever you decide to do, just do it and give it your best, no matter what it is. Right? No matter what it is. And it's okay. And I tell myself this now, but I'm looking at myself like when I was younger, if I didn't like something, I changed it. I tried it for a little while. And then as soon as I could change it, I did. Right? So you know, it kind of brings you into like today's world, or not even today's world, like in your world, whatever world you're in currently. If you don't like something, you have every right to change it. Give it a shot, give it a chance. And if you really don't like it at the end of the day, change it. That's my message for today. If you don't like something, and it's really not making you happy after you've tried it for a while, and we don't know what a while is. Your while could be 2 days. Your while could be 2 weeks. Your while could be 2 months. If you're, or hell, if you had a job and you on probation for 90 days and you stayed there for your 90 days, and then after your 90 days, you're like, you know what? Two up. I'm out of here. I tried. Okay? I can't do it anymore. Skedaddle. That's okay too. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I got myself into this mindset of like, I can't change things, or I am not allowed to try something new or evolve, or I feel like I gotta stick it out. And even though like it's kicking my butt and I don't like it, like I just stay because I'm used to doing that. But I'm also looking at my younger self. Like my younger self used to be like, I don't like that. I'm moving. I'm going to do something else. I did hip hop, ballet, jazz. I did tap. Can you imagine how my mother felt buying me tap shoes? Oh God, mom, I'm sorry if you ever see this, I understand. But I did so many different things. And then after that, I was like, I want to cheer with my friends. And she was like, she probably wanted to slit my throat. She probably was like, I didn't, hold on now. Because, like, in dance, you have to have costumes. I need to speed this up. It's all right, y'all. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm just having fun, just chatting, because I don't get to actually just chat. But dance is a sport too, so all these things matter. So I used to, being in dance, for all you guys out there who may watch this, and you may have a daughter one day, so you maybe want to pay attention to this. I don't know. But in dance, you have your studio that you go to, and usually the studio that you go to and you take your classes is usually the studio that you do recitals with. Now, growing up, I was in two different kind of like studio programs. One that was more like I remember my cheerleading coach, or the lady that was over cheer, was also a part of a dance studio program where she would train the little girls, train the dancers. So that's how I knew I wanted to cheer, because I was going through that program as well. But I had another studio where I was getting more, and I hate to say this, but I was getting more technical training. And I really, really wish that now in my adult years, when I'm trying to make a pro level team, I really wish that I would have been able to stick with it a little longer with the technique, because I think it would have been more ingrained into my head. So I have a lot of cheer technique. I have dance technique, but I don't have as much as I would have had I been doing it, all the way through college, and not just doing like one or two types of dance. Like, I stopped ballet once I started doing cheer, because like any person, it is a lot, right? But I was in two studio programs at some point, and I remember I started off with like basic ballet. Everybody, all the little kids and all the little dancers always start off with basic ballet. If you are putting your kid in dance and they're not in basic ballet, you're failing them. And I'm just saying that because that's just like the way that it goes. So I started off with basic ballet with everyone else. And I do remember like doing the butterflies. My dance teacher used to call it the peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter on one foot, jelly on the other foot. You smash it together. Peanut butter and jelly. And then I was like, okay, I wanted to do a little bit of jazz. And then I didn't like jazz. And I was like, I don't do that, Ma. And she's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? So she still got me in basic ballet. And then I went to hip hop. And I loved hip hop. Loved it down. I wanted to do hip hop. And she's like, okay. And then something in my little brain was like, jazz, not jazz, tap. I want to do tap dance. And I'm pretty sure my mother wanted to wring my neck. Because as I was saying to my previous point, when you're in dance and you're at a studio, you tend to have recitals, which love them. I loved recitals. I used to always be so nervous though, but I love recital times because you get costumes, you get to dress up, you get to bring out the vision that your instructor has, and it's so amazing, right? Probably not amazing on the parents' pockets because you have to buy the costumes. So if your kid is in 3 different classes with 3 different dances, you have 3 different costumes. Y'all seen Abby Lee Miller, right? Yeah, the costumes aren't cheap. They're not cheap unless you got some, and even if you got somebody making them, it still ain't cheap because they you got to do the labor. Unless you, the parent, are making it yourself, but you still got to invest your time. You got to buy the material, and it has to be the right. Everybody's costume has to look the same. You don't get to just willy nilly come up in there and you supposed to have stripes and you got polka dots. That's not how that works. You will not dance. You will get pulled out, right? And that's the way it is. And that kind of teaches you, especially for girls, it teaches us like uniformity at such a young age. It teaches us, following instructions. It teaches us so many things. Like we all had to look the same. All had to have the same uniform. All had to have the same costume. It wasn't I don't want to wear that, so I'm not wearing it. So if we all were looking like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, you need to be looking like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse as well. So I know for my dear mother, I know at once I probably was in at least 3 little dances and she had to buy 3 different costumes. And when I look back at it, my little hip hop costume was hideous. That was hideous. I don't know who chose that. It was hideous, but I looked it so cute. And then what else comes with that is picture packages, and it's just so much stuff. It's so much stuff. Some people will probably say it's like a highway robbery scam, and it probably is, but that's just the way dance is. And on top of that, I know I've been talking about dance for forever, but on top of that, you have to buy all these different shoes. So for ballet, you need a ballet shoe or ballet slipper, as they call it. For jazz, you need a jazz shoe. You and if you're in point ballet, you need a point shoe. So, okay, but I never wanted to do point. Never wanted to do. I wasn't interested in it. So for ballet, you have to have a ballet shoe. Jazz, you have to have a jazz shoe. For hip hop, they have hip hop shoes and hip hop sneakers. They also have jazz sneakers too, and those are different. So I remember for my hip hop shoe, it was like a booty. It was hideous. It's so ugly. But we had to have those two. And then, like I said, I decided one time I just wanted to do tap, and I went to tap dance. And my poor mother had to go buy tap shoes. And tap shoes, baby, they're not the little cheapest things, and they clickety clack clack click, click, right? And you can't ultra scrape them up or damage them or ruin them because then they'll be ruined. Child, I now feel for my mother because she probably was like, "What in the holy is this?" Right? But it's her fault. It's her fault because she gave me the options. It's her fault because she was like, "Desi, what do you want to do?" Yes, my mom calls me Desi. Desi, what do you want to do? And I'm like, "Well, I want to do this, this, and that." And then I moved in the chair, but that's just a little bit about me. So you kind of know what I'm talking about. I don't know how I moved from band, talking about the bands, to me talking about dance and cheer, but I just did. But back to the bands. So for the Battle of the Band for the MEAC Challenge, or it's actually called the Red Lobster Band of the Year, I was kind of surprised as to seeing Southern's band being so low, and North Carolina Central Band wasn't on there at all. But they're gonna battle it out allegedly, apparently, and do things. The fifth quarter is what a lot of people are waiting on. I think Southern is doing like pre-game, and then they'll do the whole game, and then they'll do a fifth quarter. So it's going to be a thing. They have a lot of playing to do for this game. I feel like I kind of did my preview already about the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Both teams were one game away from making it to the Celebration Bowl. So for HBCU D1, I'm not talking about D2 or D3. I think it would be an amazing experience, though, if the MEAC SWAC Challenge incorporated D2. I would say D3, but I know that's a lot. But I would say at least like D1 and D2 into like the MEAC SWAC kickoff challenge. And I feel like it's been 20 years now. So I really feel like why haven't, and again, I don't know the answer to this. It's just my brain and how it thinks. It's like, why haven't they added D2 teams already? Why haven't they added D2 when it comes to the MEAC? I guess because it's the MEAC SWAC Challenge, but and D2 is in like SEAC, CIAA, those type of things. So I guess they would have to change the name. But really, not really. I feel like you wouldn't have to change the name in order for you to just have an additional game like the kickoff game for D2. Because I feel like those programs will still want to do it. I don't know. I do feel like there should be something for like the D2 kickoff as well. Because a lot of prestigious universities and football programs, especially band programs too, are also D2. So it's like it would be such an amazing experience if they could have, even if I know it would be a super duper long day for whoever was going to do it, or it could be like 2 days. So when I think about the AFLAC kickoff, right? So the AFLAC kickoff, they have like I said, Syracuse in Tennessee. You have I don't know why I keep forgetting these freaking schools. Virginia Tech in South Carolina. And then there's another one on there. Hold on. I told you I'm doing this very untraditional. I'm just all over the place. So, come and go as you please. Like the video on your way out. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Put your post notifications, your page notifications on. All those things. Okay? I just was on ESPN, wasn't I? Yes. Boom. Okay. The third school, Notre Dame in Miami, right? So you have you have the three programs and the three sports, and some of them, have a doubleheader. And I think, honestly, I think that would be so cool if it could be done for HBCU. Like, we have the D2 school kick us off, and then a couple hours later, you have the D1 kickoff. And I feel like it'll just allow for those schools, the other HBCUs that feel like they get left out of the conversation, to really be a part of the conversation. And I think that's just I think it'll also just like amp it up too. It'll amp up everything else, because everybody that goes to these schools will want to come, because a lot of the HBCUs, really, a lot of them, all of them, have really, prestigious alumni that actually want to be involved in their school in some way, somehow. You tell your alumni, whatever school that you want to, that y'all are going to be part of. And again, maybe they have to change the MEXY challenge, but maybe they don't. We're going to be a part of the MEXY kickoff challenge. We're going to be kicking it off. We need y'all to be there. We just know to show up and represent. Schools I can think of the top of my head right now, like a Tuskegee, it'd be like, I know they have, the alumni comes out in droves, especially the alumni in the Atlanta area. I think they will come out in droves. I think, um, what's another school that really, really shows up, in my opinion, that are D2? The Clark Atlanta, the Morehouse people. Um, I think they'll show up in droves. You tell them that they're going to be on the MEAC SWAC kickoff challenge. Again, I know it may be something with like the divisions and or the not the divisions, the conferences and things like that. And I think that's just a contract you have to work out. Them just say that they're a part of it, not that they are. But I see a lot of comments where like they only talk about the MEAC and the SWAC schools. A lot of people feel that way, and it's partly true. It's partly true. It's partly true, because it's kind of like, if you're not a part of that mold, if you're not a part of those two conferences, you kind of don't get talked about that much. So they're not false there when they say those things. There's a little puffer thing that fell on the floor. I'm not using that. I gotta use a different one. They're not completely wrong. So I just feel like after 20 years, how do we not have anything for our D2 programs to help them grow as well? And maybe this is far fetched, and maybe they've tried it and it didn't work out. I'm not too sure. I didn't sit here and do the whole history of this whole challenge to see what's going on. I'm just giving you my thoughts on what I think when it comes to like this whole kicking off with football. And even if their season doesn't start right away, just like they do the Black College Football Hall of Fame game, and you have, I think this year, and I think I know it. Well, was it Miles College and Union? These two schools, Union shows up really, really well. When I was in college and I went to, I was in the CIAA with my college, and we used to always go to the Union. Union would all like they showed up. That's one of the schools that show up. Virginia State shows up really, really well. A lot of schools just show up really, really well, especially in the CIAA. I went to college and I transferred because I wanted to be in the CIAA. That was my thing. Like I knew other schools existed. I knew other things were around me, but I wanted to be in the CIAA because I grew up knowing and seeing the CIAA cheerleaders, and from all the schools that are in CIAA, I wanted to see them. My uncle went to Virginia Union, and my aunt went to Virginia State. So I grew up actually seeing the woo woos, and I would have loved to be a woo woo. I would love to have tried out for that, but Virginia State played on my top when it came to education and funds and stuff. And like most people, you go to school and you need money to go to school. I came into college with a lot of scholarships. I think over it was over 25,000. But 25,000 in most schools is like a semester. Um Maybe a year. So either way, I needed more money. Okay? So so I needed the coin. And Virginia State wasn't trying to give me the coin. So I couldn't go there. I couldn't go there. And I was very distraught because I really wanted to go. Because I really wanted to audition and try out for the Boo Boos. Because I grew up watching the Boo Boos and they were just everything, nothing short of beauty, of class, of talent, of strength, of sheer tasticness. They were just, I was just in awe of the Woo Boos growing up. And that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a part of that team, that legacy, that organization. They have an amazing legacy. So, you know, admissions killed that for me because that was one thing my mother told me. Like, you can go wherever you want. Well, besides Hawaii, because I told you that before. I thought I was going to go to Hawaii for school, and my mom was like, Hawaii where? Hawaii where? That's how I'm going to get to you. If something happened, how I'm going to get to you? Talking about Hawaii. So that was the one that was the one school she told me absolutely no to. That was the one. That was the one. She said, hell no. She said, who going over there? How I'm getting to you? If I can't get to you right away, you're not going. So, mama spoke on that one, y'all. Couldn't go. Couldn't go. I don't even know why Hawaii was on my mind. But as I keep saying, I'm going to get off track because that's just what happens. My brain just gets off track like this. Normally I'm listening to music and I'm jamming. Sorry why I'm moving so slow. But I do feel like I do wish that we could see some type of D2 kickoff something. And I guess maybe they're saying, the Hall of Fame game is their kickoff. I don't know, but I really would love to see D2 because there are, like I said, there are some alumni bases that have amazing support. They have amazing support and okay, so far it looks so good. I lifted this up. This right here is gonna cause a problem. That's gonna cause a problem. Because it's not as tilted. And I ran out of my hairspray. Yo, it's not even crazy. I look sleepy. I just look very sleepy. I'm not that sleepy, but I look sleepy. But yeah, I would love to see some of the other fan bases at these sporting events and games. And you do see it, some of them, they do go out and support, especially with it being in Atlanta. But like when I went to the MLB HBCU Swingman Classic, gosh, all the different schools that were out there, the Tennessee States, the again, I'm going off memory and I'm going off the top of my head of what I remember and who I remember seeing. Tuskegee was definitely one of them. I've seen a lot of Tuskegee out there. Even when I was living in the DMV, the Morgan States, the Bowie States, Howard is not D2, but I'm naming, and neither is Morgan. But these are like the alumni that I always see, and I always see like stuff, they're wearing their stuff and their paraphernalia. So that's just my spiel on why I want smaller schools to be a part in some way, somehow. And they probably like, okay, girl, move on by now. I'm moving on. I'm trying to forget my steps for my makeup. Yeah. Okay. Now. I see one of my favorite podcasters or YouTubers. Because I guess you don't call them podcasters on YouTube, but I don't know. Because she doesn't have a podcast, I guess. I don't know. One of her YouTubers, she sits and she talks and does her makeup all the time. And I never realized, I thought it was kind of easy. I never realized how it's really not that easy. um, because you're trying to focus on what you're doing so I don't mess up my face. But you're also trying to talk, because if you just like stop talking or you're not talking, then it's kind of like, why aren't you talking? I'm on here because you be talking. But anywho, what else is on my list for to talk about today? You're betting. Hi. Hello. Welcome. I'm betting. I'm betting what? Oh, on the games? You know what? I ain't do that. I ain't put my bets in, y'all. I forgot. I forgot. Yesterday was kind of like a was a day. Yesterday was a day. But I usually do bet. Um where I live at, I think I can only do like prize picks though. I haven't mastered. I used to do it was sports book. I used to do, I think, sports book. But usually I do prize picks. Last year during football season, I was eating it up though. I was eating it up though. That's why I was making my little change, my little grocery money. Cause I'm still, I learned how to do betting. So it's so crazy because when I was living in Maryland, gambling, they call it gambling, whatever. But betting was just, you can do it everywhere. And I lived not too far from the casinos where you can go in there and just do it in person. Cause sometimes they won't allow you to do it on the app. So I mastered that. I mastered one platform. And then I moved and that platform wasn't available no more. And I'm like, come on, man. So I had to master another program. So last year or last season, even what sport was just above this? During NBA season and then going into the playoffs, I was using Vivid Picks, Prize Picks, was it called Sleeper? And there's one more. So I was balancing all four or five of the platforms and figuring it out. And Prize Picks is so far is probably my favorite one out of the few. However, I don't like, because sometimes I be construed. Sometimes I don't be knowing. I'm like, do I want to do it? I don't know. I like just being able to have a money line and just like who's gonna be on my money line. Super Bowl when it was Chiefs Eagles the first time, man, I did some good. But on Prize Picks, it's not like that. So I gotta find me another one where it's like a little bit like Sportsbook. I'm not gonna say what I was going to say. I was gonna say maybe give me the version that that it's the overseas version. I don't know. But are you betting? What you betting on? Who else you bet on? Who winning today? Who's winning today? Who should be my pick? Let me know. Or are you asking me for my picks? One of the hardest sports to bet on, by the way, people, is hockey, especially on Prize Picks, because they want to know how many shots per net, how many goals can they get, how many blocks can the goalie get. You have to estimate, right? Obviously, all of it is estimation and guesstimation, and you figure it out, but it's statistics, right? However, in hockey, child, how many saves? How many saves is the goalie gonna have? That really, because I mean, like, you really have to know. You have to really have known and studied this player, and that comes with all the sports. You need to study. You cannot go sports betting and you don't study. It's like I can't get up here and talk sports with y'all if I don't study. A lot of people don't study. Like, sports you have to be a student of the game. You do. Like, if you're going to sit here and talk about it, you got to be a student of the game. If you're going to be betting on it, you got to be a student of the game. You cannot just go out there. Sometimes you can guesstimate and you can just like, oh, I just want to figure it, like, however you think you can figure it out, but that don't last and it's not longevity. Another thing is, for betting, you don't win every day. So some people make it seem like, oh, I be winning every day. No, you don't. You don't win every day. At some point, you're going to lose. At some point, you're going to lose. I would suggest having more than one ticket, but to each his own. But at some point, you're going to lose. So all the people that be trying to flex and tell y'all that they win every day, they lying. They might hit real big at one time, and then their next 3 times they may lose, and then they'll win again big. But also, when you're starting out, thanks for bringing up the betting things. I can go on and on about this. But when you start sports betting, start low at first until you figure it out so you get into the groove. Don't be just throwing out, all your money unless you absolutely positively know. Some people give out picks, some people give out like slips, and they'll tell you do this, and that. That's not a guarantee. They may have good winning streaks, but it's not a guarantee. So you have to make sure you understand what you're picking. When I first started, I used to ask one of my brothers, about his picks and everything. And I swear for beans, I felt like we always was losing. I felt like he was always giving me picks that just, or like one or two will hit and then the others would not. And that I'm like, oh no. After that happened to me a few times, I said, no, I got to start studying this for myself. I got to start figuring out these players. So if you know specific players, bet on them. You can bet on them every time. But you have to know them. You have to know their patterns. You have to know what they're more likely to do. You have to know what they aren't going to do. So do not bet on somebody. And you have to also understand rush, especially for football, rushing yards, receiving yards, passing yards. Y'all don't be knowing that stuff. Y'all just be like, oh, I'm just going to pick. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. You got to know. You got to be a student of the game. Got to be a student of the game. Most running backs are not going to have receiving yards. Most. I'm not saying they can't have receiving yards. They're going to have rushing yards. Okay? Your wide receivers are going to have receiving yards. You understand? Okay. Because running backs do what? Run. They can catch as well, but majority of the time, they are running. So don't go making those stupid. I don't think I'm over an hour yet. I don't think I can curse yet. But don't be out there making those stupid bets. Talking about your running back is gonna have over 100 receiving yards. What are we doing? What are we doing? But I guess he said I'm not betting. He getting up out of here. Thanks for coming. I gotta fix my eyebrow on the other side because that looks crazy. But yeah, sports betting is definitely a thing, and I only know because I tried. I only know. I hate when I get powder in my nose. Oh my god, that's how you know I don't do no drugs because that stuff bothers me. Got me on here looking like I am doing drugs. I ain't doing no that. I promise you. I can't stand anything being in my nose, anything being in my eyes. It's like my eyelashes. I had to learn how to do it myself because I just couldn't do it. Not everybody can do your eyelashes. I had to learn how to do mine myself. Without it's a thing. All right, I gotta let my concealer dry a little bit. We are I washed myself by the way. We're re-downloading our Prize Picks. I could actually watch myself on my screen here, but I just choose not to. Okay, so like I opened it up, right? Boom. I have to sign back in because I had to re-download it. But this right here, it says NFL Max Discount. Dak is on the board at 0.5 pass yards for the opener. Expires at kickoff on 9/4. Right? That's kind of like an easy one. That means that he has to get one passing yard. If he can't get one passing yard, he don't need to be the quarterback. Now, mind you, they are playing the Eagles, so this is gonna be a little bit tough. But for the whole entire game, that's one that you can bet on and cash out. But now, Prize Picks, you gotta have at least 2 on it. So make sure your other one is solid. Like you have a high guarantee of it's going to happen. Okay. When I do my picks, I'm like, which ones are going to be the highest guarantee? And I learned too, like I used to get ahead of myself. I used to be like, I want to put all these on the same one. And it's like, oh, sometimes you shouldn't do that either. Sports betting is hard. Like it's easy, but it's hard. You know, it's hard when you're trying to learn, and you have so many different variables that you have to look out for. So yeah, um, I have a sports betting merch, so go check it out at PG Love Sports at pglovesports.com. I have all types of merch on there for girls, but I need to put up some male merch. And at some point I'm gonna have custom merch. I think starting this, if I don't have it out by this season, I definitely in next season I'm gonna start having like the customized merch and stuff like that. I want to learn how to do tapestry. I think tapestry is so cool. I've seen so many tapestry pants like Simone's Simone's Simone Biles Owens, her tapestry pants that she had, so cute. The only thing about like when you think of like celebrity wives and things is that they literally like they literally will wear like Simone has the tapestry pants and everything, but it's like she gets photographed at every single game. So like, now I say she can't, but in most places like she can't wear them pants again because people are gonna be like she wearing them pants again. That's how people are. So she has to like get a custom outfit every time probably. A couple outfits she was very cute, very simple, very basic, and it was like okay, she didn't do too much, you know. But when you think about it, it's like I gotta show up to if she go to she only goes to the if she only goes to the home games, I gotta show up to 10 possible more home games with a different outfit on each time. But that's how I feel when me being a part of like the media. Of course, because my brand is branded as being like pretty, dressing, fashion forward, and stuff like that. So it's like every time I go play, and I go to more than 10 games a season. I go to more than 10 games a season because I do speaking into existence because every season is different. Every season I feel like I'm pressing my luck, trying to get back into these places that I was in the year before because sometimes it don't happen. Just like I didn't get into the Orange Blossom Classic last year, but I had previously done it the year before, and I have an interview of the uh, was she the CEO or executive director on my page of the Orange Blossom Classic. I talked to her at the SWAC Media Day. I talked to her off the camera. I talked to the lady that works with her too off the camera. Was told to apply and I didn't get in. And I was like, whoa, they told me to apply to this. And I also did it last year. So it was a thing. It was a thing. You know. And the reason why I didn't get in, allegedly, was because they could not let in so many small creators. And I'm not making that up. I literally have that in my email. And I was like, well, okay. Everything changes. Year to year, it changes. So every year, I'm crossing my fingers that I could make it back into the spaces that I was in the year before. Hoping that I didn't like piss nobody off, making sure my articles and my newspaper is written, ensuring that everything that I need to have done is done because that's how it go. One day you'll get in and one day you won't until you get to a point of accreditation to where you're, higher up on the totem pole until you're like really recognizable, until you've kind of built that credibility to be like an automatic yes, or like not even if it's not an automatic, to be in the high considerations, right? So some media processes are literally like just I'm gonna just do colors and say like green, yellow, red. Think of a stoplight, right? So within your stoplight, you know absolutely these are the yeses. So most times, who is like your ESPNs, your sports centers, your NFL film, NFL, any type of NFL media. Then you have like the news, and there's one other one, like newspapers and things. Those are going to be higher up on the totem pole. Those are going to be your greens, right? Your greens. And you have to make sure your greens are taken care of. In college, you have even the university news and media staff, because they have, a lot of them have their own staff and their own people that report on the games and everything like that. So you'll have your ACC network people, you'll have your SEC network people, all those people. Or if you're at a college, you have your Alabama, media people. So all those people kind of go into that green. And there's also limited spaces. So everybody's press box is very, very different. Like Miami has a beautiful press box and it's so big. It's like, they definitely make space. They have space, right? But then you go to your tier two, which would be your yellows. Your yellows are going to be like your mid range media, right? So that could be anything from, maybe you are a radio. I mean, I feel like radio's up there in greens too, but sometimes they'll drop radios down. Radio and news, or maybe you're like a specific type of news outlet or specific type of newspaper. You may be a monthly or magazines and things like that. Are other, just type different types. There's so many different types of media, right? Your you may also allow smaller creators in there. It's people that have a reach, but they're not like a gazillion reach. Or you may have like a media, independent media, and it kind of sucks because independent media can go into yellow and it can immediately go into red. Independent media, it depends on what's your independence, if that makes sense. So your independent media could be, you're just like a blog, right? And a lot of places don't allow just blogs to get in unless your blog is like 5 million deep. More like, or do you know the person? More likely than not, you're going to get denied, right? If you're a smaller um, newspaper, like I have a newspaper, the Playmakers Press. My newspaper is pretty small because it's not a nationwide paper yet, but that could get me into probably the yellow, but it can also get me into the red, right? So normally in like the media tiers, your red is going to be the ones that you're probably more likely gonna not gonna say no. And the only way you're going to get in possibly is if something happens and you just happen to have an extra spot and you want to be gracious to them. But that'll be like your podcasters, that'll be like your YouTubers, that'll be like just the people who only do specific types of shows or don't do any shows. Those who are content creators, that. Oh, I also want to add your photographers. So like your own field photographers and all that, they tend to go into the green. So that'll be that. Okay. Hold on one second, y'all. I'll be right back. Actually, I'll be right back. Hold on. Hey y'all, I'm back. You have animals? You ain't hear them, but when you got animals, man, they kind of run you. So those who got animals know. If you know, you know. Um. Anyway, I don't remember. I don't remember where I left off, but I left off somewhere. What was I talking about? Your tiers of media, but I know most of y'all ain't on here to talk about that. Y'all don't care about that, so there's that. I re-downloaded my Prize Picks though. Whew. We're gonna get into it. Okay. Let me see. Like the video before I head out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all those things. Thanks so much. I hope it's still going. Because I don't see me back on this screen. I be having to check. I be having to watch myself. Check, make sure I'm on here. Random. So why was there we go back on here? Boom. I seen a thing. I feel like no, it's this eye. This looks so sleepy to me. I don't know. I'm about to conceal everything. Where is my good concealer? I seen that YouTube video where it's like Dr. Umar talking about lunch. I told y'all before, I was a fan, and I don't want to say I'm not a fan. No, I'm not a fan of how he be scamming us. Them. I never donated. I don't be giving. I only give money when I absolutely positively think and know that it's for a good cause. So y'all don't be donating to that man, by the way. Don't do it. But I seen somebody yesterday was like, he could get on there. He can get on Instagram. He can Instagram live, YouTube, whatever he be doing, and get on there 3 or 4 times a week and still make all the money that he was making through donations by just getting on there and listening, having people listen to him because people like him, and that's true. I feel like he didn't have to grift people, he had to scam people, he had to do none of that. All he had to do was come sit in front of a camera like I'm doing, and he has a massive following, like over 1 million followers, especially on Instagram. All he had to do was sit his ass somewhere that was probably not outside, but he was probably gonna be outside anyway, and sit there and do his little when he chastised people, saying his, Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never, all of that. He could have got on there 3 times a week Did the Q&A. Stop posting on Instagram. We don't want to see your text messages. Guarantee. Ooh, Lord, I got my eye. Guarantee you text him, your text message is gonna be exposed. So don't get on there saying nothing crazy, or don't ask him no crazy questions because he's definitely gonna post it. But he could have did a Q&A, you know. Same way a lot of my other I have another podcaster. I love seeing her. I want to get to the point where she's at, where she can be on here, and she be on doing things like she be on, like I said, doing her makeup. She be talking about stuff. She be promoting her products, all of that, right? And she be on here for like 3, 4 hours. I seen a video of hers the other day. It was like 4 hours long. And she has built this following now. It wasn't always like that. She did not always have, videos. I mean, she probably always did have videos 3 hours, 4 hours long. And obviously, YouTube promotes you and rewards you the more you post, the longer you're on, all of that stuff. Which I'm seeing that, which is why I be trying to get myself on here. Which is why I'm on here today. I didn't get on here yesterday because my day was long and hard. I had to work, but they reward you by using if you use their platform. So she'll be on her 4 hour videos. And in the beginning, she did not have a lot of views or followers, but she was on here anyway, basically talking to herself. What I'm doing now, talking to myself. I don't know. You know, I mean, you got some people that come in and out. They probably don't want to see me doing my makeup, but that's just part of what I'm doing. The captions say "Get ready with me," so hope you can tune in trying to see some butt, cause that's not what I'm doing. But yeah, that's what she do, and she's built an audience that way. People like to hear her talk. People like to see her talk. People like the advice that she gives. So that's what they stay for. That's what they support her for. That's why she's gotten so big, you know. But a lot of people, sadly, do not want to do it that way, you know. Instead, you would rather grift people. I guess you can put it that way. You know, it sucks because you're scamming your own people, the very much people that you said that you're helping and trying to liberate and educate and free, which is crazy to me, but whatever. Again, I do think that he has some decent philosophies with certain stuff, so I will never take that away from him. And I do think that he's absolutely, positively, hilariously funny. I don't think that that's something that anybody could take away from him. But do not send him no money. Do not donate. And I see another thing too. A lady got on here yesterday. Well, I don't know when she got on here, but I watched it yesterday. And she was talking about how we make the wrong people famous or well known or infamous, or we support the wrong people. You rather support somebody that's actually scamming you in your face than support somebody who's actually trying to do it the right way. Now, mind you, she was talking about Dr. Umar, and some of that did sound a little bit like hate, and I don't, no bad way. It did sound a little bit like hate, only because she kept referring to her and what her organization was doing, and basically how a lot of people do not support as much as they do her organization, but they do like Dr. Umar's fake FGMD school, right? And I got everything that she was saying. I felt it. I literally felt it in the pit of my stomach, in the bare of my back, in my bones. I felt it because it's true, right? It's very, very true. A lot of people support the wrong people. A lot of people make the wrong people famous. A lot of people will see you making out the mud and they be like, you cool, you good, you know? Or they'll tell you, you're doing a good job, keep going or whatever, but they're not actually supporting you. They're not actually watching your stuff. They're not actually liking it. They're not actually, commenting or anything, right? But they'll tell you keep going, but they'll donate to a scammer, an alleged scammer. All right, I don't have no money to be getting sued by nobody. They'll support that, and they'll keep supporting that because that's what they want to do. But I did agree with that. I did agree with that. That we support a lot of times. I'm gonna say we, cause I did support Dr. Moore. Again, I ain't donate no money, but I did support him at one point until I really found out and really knew what the heck was going on, right? But this lady here had been on his neck for years, and I just found her yesterday. She been on his neck for years, telling people like it's a scam. It's not gonna work out. Don't donate your money. And people didn't listen. People didn't listen to her at all. Okay, it's just I'm just gonna look tired. I don't know. I'm not about to keep cake and makeup on my face, so whatever. But she was right. You know, she was right. She was definitely right. You know, there's no reason why I don't, you know. And like I said, the only reason I felt like it was kind of like hate is because she kept bringing it up and referencing her organization, her program, and what she's doing and how she's not getting the support that others have received. And like I said, I got it, I understood it, and I stand with her on that. But the only thing is, like, it sounded like hate and bitterness. I should say bitterness. Bitterness because her organization is not getting the same play, not getting the same love as someone else's who don't really deserve it. You know, and that sucks. It sucks because a lot of people that are trying to do it the authentic way, a lot of people that are trying to do it the good way, a lot of people that are trying to do it, you know, the right way, are the ones that are just not supported. They're not supported. So yeah, that's what I gotta say on that. So I lost my other. That's my other spray. I have like 4 makeup bags, and I need to just make it one. I just need to make it one. I don't know why I think I'm gonna have all these different bags and make it work. I'm watching College Countdown. That's so cool. I think that's so cool. What they're doing, how they're showing the team over there in Dublin. Like, can you imagine if you're part of that team? Like you just got to go to another country. Like some of them kids probably don't even well, maybe not. Some of them kids probably don't have passports. Some of them probably do. I can imagine. I had a passport since college. So um I really I've really been traveling out of the country since then. Since I've had my passport since college. But I understand like most like some people don't have passports or whatever. Or haven't went anywhere yet. You know, like I hadn't been I've been out the I mean I was out the country, but like I was on a cruise and where we went we didn't have to have a passport. And I was with my parents, so you know. But other countries and stuff, you need a passport. You imagine like being on that team and you guys get to go over to Ireland. You get to go to Ireland for your first football game season of the year, first football game of the season. Oh my god. Like that is so amazing. So amazing. Yeah. So amazing. Okay. I'm almost done. I'm gonna get off here. I'm definitely gonna be off of here before 12 because that's when the game kicks off. Um, for sure. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm watching it, so I'm trying to listen to what he's saying. But I definitely wonder about that too, like the acclimation. Like they got to Dublin on Thursday and they're playing on Saturday. Well, which is today. So like they definitely have to acclimate to the time change, weather, all types of stuff. So it's like you got to get your rest, you got to sleep, but also like you're in college. How do you? You're excited. You're in a whole other country. Like sleep. You know. I guarantee you, there's somebody on that team that did not sleep as much as they were supposed to. Just saying. I know I look like a zombie right now, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let me see. Yeah. Anyway, NFL preseason, week 3. So I feel like if Patrick Mahomes and all the Chiefs ones can practice and start, not practice and start. Oh shoot! If let me try. Let me see. I gotta fix my eyelash back there. Okay. Um. Boom. I feel like if Patrick Mahomes and them can get out there and do like a dress rehearsal, so can anybody else. So can anybody else. That's just my opinion. And I said it once and I'll say it again, right? Let me clear off some of this powder from my forehead. I said it once and I'll say it again. Like preseason, yes, as you know, like obviously a lot of people like to say that it doesn't count because like it doesn't like count against regular season record, right? And that we know. However, it does count for all the fellas that are trying to make the roster or trying to be looked at to get on to another roster or practice squad. That matters. A lot of the preseason also matters because you have why not do my top lip? I'm just like, what? I'm trying to think if I want to wear lipstick today or if I just want to wear gloss. I'm a lipstick girly. I don't know why I try to play with my face, play in my own face. Um, gotta get used to stop saying So there are players trying to make roster. There are players trying to make anybody roster. But obviously they've been playing with the team for, especially the rookies coming in. You've been playing with them since what, like April, May. You've been playing with the team for a while. So of course you want to make the team. Of course you want to make the roster. Like this is their chance. So that matters. I don't know why we saying that it don't matter. Hold on, y'all. Videographer calling. Hold on. Hello. Hold on 1 second. What? Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Videographer called. So let me let y'all know what's going on. As all the red's gone, boom, I'm gonna show all the sound is back on. I learned how to mute this time. Apparently last time I didn't mute, but I had to say something. But so when it comes to certain games, I don't apply under myself because it's a little bit easier when I'm with my videographer for us to be on the same application, right? For us to be on the same application because it's just easier because normally we're together. However, today yesterday he sent me the information for today's game, the Me Swag Challenge. And this is his thing. Like, he loves the Me Swag Challenge. He loves the Celebration Bowl. He gets super duper excited about it. So, it's just the thing. It's just a thing that he just loves. But he sent me the information. And he's like, yeah, you're on the application. Or you should be on the application. So when I see the application or I see the emails and stuff, I'm not on those emails. In the years past, I've been on the emails, right? So I was like, I don't know if you all actually applied and have me on there. I'm not gonna put my red on right now. I'm gonna put my pink color. Right? I'm like, my name ain't on none of them emails. I haven't gotten any of the emails. I don't know anything. Like, I don't know what time is check-in, what time, normally the details don't really change that much, but you never know, right? I'm like, I don't know any of the details. I don't know anything. And usually and the reason why we're also on the same thing is because I'm the information person. He's the doer person, right? I'm the person that keeps track of our time, the location, parking, all the logistics. I'm the information and logistics person, right? This is how we run our team. I do all that stuff. He normally does the driving. He'll do the driving. I mean, we split driving to when we drove up to Virginia, but he does the operations part of it, I will say, right? I'm doing the logistics. He's doing the operations portion. He's making things happen. He's putting things together, having the equipment and all that stuff. So he does that. That's how our team works. So I didn't have any of the information. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. I thought yesterday, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know any of the information. I don't know where we are. I don't know anything. Right. And because I attend so many games throughout the season and I have to keep up with so many different deadlines, so many different communications people, so many different things, because when I'm by myself, I am the logistics and operations person. I'm the end all be all, get it done. So I realized, I'm like, I don't have any of our information for tomorrow. And I'm like, do you know the information? Which I knew he didn't know the information. He never knows the information, by the way. That's no shade. But again, we're a team. We operate. We have our strengths. We have our weaknesses, right? So I knew he didn't know, but I asked him so he can find out. He's like, no, actually, I don't have it. He said, I think they sent it to me. I think they forwarded it to me in my email, and I'm gonna forward you the email when I get to the house. Forwards me the email, and my name is not on any of the emails. Neither is my email address. It's not CC'd on anything. And sometimes they'll just do the main person. They'll just send information to the main person. But sometimes they'll add both people, or at least they'll CC the other person on the email if it's supposed to be 2 or more credentials. I wasn't either one. I wasn't listed and I wasn't CC'd either. So it made me kind of nervous. I'm like, are we sure that we put in for 2 people? Because I didn't put in under myself this time. Last year I put in underneath myself, and he also put in for me too. So that was just extra credentials. We had to reach out and say, no, we don't need this one. I'm already on the application. because that again that takes opportunities away from somebody else that may be able to go through. And sometimes if I know, that's why I was talking about those tears, he is automatically going to usually always be in the green because he works for a major news entity, and I'm kind of like his apprentice, and I've been his apprentice for seasons now. And I work under him, and I help with a lot of different things, right? So I know that I'm more guaranteed to get in there than I am with by myself, me still working and building the platform and all those things. So if I know that we're doing something together, one, I'm not gonna put in for myself because most of the time than not, I will get denied anyway. And then on the flip side, it's like, well, you being a smaller creator from the beginning, I need to put on some more blush. You being a smaller creator from the beginning, you're probably gonna get denied anyway. So there's no point in wasting time, breath, and money. That's how I kind of look at it. That's kind of how I look at it in some ways, and it's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's really not a thing. It's just the matter of like how we like to operate, and it just helps us also just like keep each other aligned, right? So if I know that we're supposed to be going somewhere, doing something together, I ensure and make sure that we do it together. That makes sense. Yeah, that looks so much better. Yeah. So we're trying to get it figured out. And when we figured it out last night, it was a little too late to be calling anybody on anybody's phone. And yeah, we're going to figure it out. He said we have to call back around 1 o'clock or whatever to see if everything was right and put into the system as it's supposed to be. I have to exfoliate because for some reason my you don't see them here, but I see them in person. My little flaky flakes on my nose. Mhm. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. 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 Yeah, looking good. Um. So yeah, we're trying to see if I'll actually be in the building for the game today. I don't know why people think they can just call me whenever they want to. There's only a certain amount of people who can call me whenever they want to. It's like, ooh, but yeah. So my little, I curled my ponytail because it's still wet. Shoot, it's all right. I curled my little pony because I felt like it was looking a little crazy back there. Well, that's cute. That's real cute. Okay, let's make sure. I told you my little swoop I gotta redo right here because it's coming up. My hair is so curly over here too. My little swoopy doo. I'm gonna have to stop and get some of that. As my mom would call it, the black girl gel. I'm gonna have to stop and get some of that and just like lay it down. I blow dried it. Blow is it? I blow dry it. Blow dry it. I used the blow dryer. How about that? I used the blow dryer last night to slick it down. It looks good though. Slick it down. Got my little pony. Yeah, super cute. At least for my little picture, it's cute. If it's not cute, when I go downstairs and look in the mirror, because sometimes, you know what? The mirror sometimes be your biggest hater. And your phone. And your phone camera, sometimes be your biggest hater. Sometimes I look at my phone camera, I'm like, who is that? good. All right. Yeah. I don't know why I just did the kissy fade lips, but and I think it's cute from what I can see here. But I've been doing it for an hour and a half. It's cool. Mm, let me see. I think that's about it. I don't have anything else to do. I'm not putting anything else on my face. I'm gonna. I actually like. I actually like the lip combo. I do. I don't know. I actually like it. I may not change it. You know, I'm a stickler for a good red lip. My I have like setting spray. Let's say zero setting powder. We gotta go to. We got to go to the store. The reason why I don't like going into the makeup stores is because every time I go into the makeup store, I always come out of there with more stuff than I'm supposed to. Just like it is when I go into Target. I know some people say they boycotting Target, but I'm not. I'm not boycotting Target. I'm just not. Because I think it's, I don't know, I think it's kind of stupid. But because Target is still one of the, Target is the only really big company that I know besides Target and Walmart. But Target, I have gotten this really beautiful, like a black designer. They sell black designers in Target. Even if they definitely do one for like the entire month of February. And I've gotten some really great pieces out of there for like the Black History Month. But even outside of that, I'm in my Target. I can't speak for everybody's Target though. In my Target, they still sell some black owners clothing in their stores. I've gotten off season because I feel like the Black History Month thing is considered a season, which that is wrong. That is wrong, right? It's not a season, it's a thing. It's who we are. But I've gotten this beautiful hoodie. I think it says like uh black, bold, beautiful, something like that. And I've been looking for the freaking matching pants because it's a sweatsuit. I've been looking for the matching pants. When I went in there, the pants were sold out. Sold out. I'm like, why didn't y'all sell it as a 2 for 1? Okay, 2 for 1 because I needed the pants. So the reason why I haven't worn the top yet because it's like a little crop hoodie and it has the pants and on the side of the pants it has the words going down. It has a little stripe. It's like a it's brown, but it's not nude. It's not latte. It's not champagne. It's in that brown family, and it's super cute. It's similar to khaki ish, but it's super duper cute. And I've been trying to find the pants. I don't even know like maybe the designer is listed on a thing and I can like type it in or whatever. But yeah, I got that in there. Could not find the pants. I was I wish I don't know if it was sold out or if it was all gone. But usually if the stuff is not sold out, it goes on the clearance rack and there was no pants on that clearance rack. I didn't buy the hoodie off the clearance rack. So, but when I went in there a couple months later, it was no pants on that clearance rack. So I don't know what they do with the stuff. I'm not really sure about that. I would like to know that though. Like, where do you guys send it? Because I want to go find it. I've also bought like this beautiful green dress. When I wore it during the time I was at FAMU homecoming. I think 2 years ago. I had short, blonde, kind of like what I have now, hair, but it was like in a bob. So cute. I ate down. And I wore that green dress. That is a black designer's dress that I got from Target. I wore another piece as well. It was like another like black top or whatever, a black owner from Target. I can't, not to my knowledge, I don't know any black designers that are in Walmart. Because if they're in there, I would go support too. Because why not support the black designer that you're in there? Tabitha Brown has food. I'm not sure if it's still in there, but she had food items, vegan food items that I liked and eat. Like there was some pasta, The seasoning, I don't really use her seasoning, but I have tried like the little seasoned things before, liked them. I've tried plenty of her little meals, liked them, and they're like exclusively in Target. I don't know where else to get them, at least in my area. Walmart, Aldi's, all that stuff don't have it, but it's in Target. So whatever you want to say, Target, and at least my Target, every Target may be a little bit different, whatever, but at least my Target, I still see black people who have ownership, or black people who are designers or makers or creators or whatever, still in Target. The is it the TBL, the lip combo people? Hold on, do I have it? Or is it, no, the lip bar? This here, the lip bar. I believe this is a black owned business, black owned company. I got this from Target. I get this from Target every time. They may have them in the other stores or whatever, but I get this from Target. And maybe in other drugstores. But I get this. And I got this. I got put on this at Target. They don't have Juvia's Place. If they get Juvia's Place up in there, I'm still going. Like I'm going to double down because I love the Juvia's Place blush. That's what I'm using. The blush. Yeah. You guys don't care about this because you're like, this is supposed to be a sports talk show, but it's a dad show. This is the dad show. Dad talks about a little bit of everything. Right? From Target. So, you know, the whole DEI thing is like, it shouldn't have begun in the first place. It was very stupid because it wasn't actually benefiting black people. From my knowledge, it was not supporting of black people. It wasn't. Maybe it was created to help with because obviously it's diversity. It's about diversity, equality, inclusion, all those things. But I don't feel like, and again, from everything I keep seeing, it wasn't actually benefiting the people that it was supposed to benefit. So why are we going to have a program where y'all really not using it anyway? You're just saying that you're using it and you're not actually using it. You're saying that you're doing something, but you're really not doing it. And there's so many other companies and so many other businesses that in your face will not support black, brown people. You know, they'll do it in your face and you'll still show up and support. So I don't know. Just my opinions on it. I don't know. And if I'm wrong, show me the research. Don't give me your opinion. If I'm wrong on the fact that DEI was actually helping women that looks like me, it probably did help in some situations. But, you know, show me the actual hard and stone cold facts. I don't want opinionated based facts because those aren't really facts. Those are opinions, right? I don't need a hypothesis either. I need stone cold research. But a lot of the things, like I said, a lot of the things that I've gotten that are black owned businesses, I got them out of Target. So I want to go in there and still support those black owned businesses. You know, the ones that are still black owned that didn't sell. Right? So I think it's good. Like Starbucks even has a collection of like coffee cups. I seen one I was in Columbia, South Carolina, and one of their like destination cups, I think that's what it's called, or destination collectors cups or something. It was by a black artist, and I love the fact they had the tag and had a little bio on it, had a photo on it, so you can see what she looked like, and the art on that cup was beautiful, was simply beautiful. So I want to go and support those companies where I still see black people in them. So that's just my 2 cents on that. You can ask for it, but I give it to you. Anyway, before I get off of here, I'm going to talk about the NFL preseason week 3 because that's what I was supposed to be doing before I started ranting about my clothes I got from Target. So, boom. I think I watched yesterday. So what I said was I feel like if Patrick Mahomes and their ones can get out there and play during the preseason, I think it was like 3 or 4 series. Then I feel like everybody else can do it as well. I know we're trying to, I look at it as like a dress rehearsal. Most places, if you have opportunity to do a dress rehearsal, you do a dress rehearsal. You don't just like throw put yourself out there and you just throw yourself out there in the game on the first game. Is it possible and has it been done and people do really, really well? Absolutely, yes. But it doesn't hurt to get out there and practice and do a couple runs, a couple, series to just again knock the dust off, get yourself out there. Patrick Mahomes looked great. He led the team with to 17 points within like I think 3 series. And then after that, things started to go a little bit downhill. They did end up losing 29-27 to the Chicago Bears. When Caleb Williams got out there, he was looking a little. It wasn't looking the best for him. I'm not even gonna hold you. It was not looking. It was not looking the best. Um, he made me a little nervous, and maybe it was the center that wasn't looking the best. But of course, what we see and what we always immediately say is how Caleb Williams was not looking his very, very best. But when you look at the box scores here for the Bears, Caleb was 11 for 15, 113 yards, averaging 7.5. He had 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. He was sacked once. So, not bad. But Tyson um, Badgett, Tyson Badgett, he's good. He's good. He's good. He was 20 for 28, 212 yards, averaging 7.6 yards, 3 touchdowns, zero interceptions, 1 sack. Caleb, I know you ain't play that long, but Caleb, get it together, boo. You not want to be in a situation like AR is in right now. Pull it together. Pull it together. Okay? Pull it together because Mr. Tyson is on your heels. He's on your heels. He's just as good. He's on your heels. And if we know one thing for certain, two things for sure, Chicago has a history of just moving on. So, yeah, whatever. DeAndre Swift had 4 carries, 28 yards. His longest was 12 yards. Um, Roma Duze, he had 3 receptions, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 5 targets. Um, Jade Walker, he had 37 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 targets. Joel Wilson had 29 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 targets. Durham Smith had 23 yards, 1 target. DJ Moore, 14 yards, 1 target. Royce Freeman, 10 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 targets. So yeah, those right there, the five. What did I miss? Five. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 players that I just mentioned for the Bears, look out for them. We already know Roman Duze is the guy for that offense, but they also have some other. They also got some good players on that side, some good receivers. DeAndre Swift, I feel like it's gonna be their guy over there. Royce Freeman, you know. So I think they have like on paper, the Chicago Bears have a solid team and they're supposed to be they're gonna be good. Do I think they're gonna be like super playoff good? I can't really say that. I can't really say that. Because when I saw the series, the first 2 series, especially with Caleb Williams, I'm like, okay, he still has some growing to do. He looks I would say he looks much better, and this is y'all know I like to drag the Bears. You would think that I was like a Packers fan. the way that I had tore up on the Bears a couple times. But I tear up on everybody who deserves it, really. But he looks good, better, not good. Because sometimes I say good and y'all be eating me up in the comments. I'm like, he looked terrible. Some of y'all just say that because I'm a girl and y'all just don't want to agree with me. Let's get into that. But 11 for 15. Okay. 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 I think he has to get out of the mindset of like holding onto the ball too long. Like throw the ball away. Throw the ball away. Stop. Like throw the ball away. Right. I think last season it was the same thing. Like just getting used to like if the play isn't working and nobody's open, just throw it away so you risk not getting sacked or you risk not throwing or you risk throwing the ball and it's intercepted. So he did pretty good. No interceptions, one sack. He just has to like let it go. Just let it go. If it's no, just let it go. Right. But I think he's so used to just like working it out that he doesn't like actually let it go. He needs to be he has to get into that. Okay. So the Bears only played two quarterbacks. Okay. Do they only have two quarterbacks? Who's the QB3 over there? Let me know, chat. I can say. I don't know. After I seen the Chiefs 17 points, after Patrick Mahomes went out, I went out too. I ain't gonna lie. I went over and I was watching Dallas. But just Patrick Mahomes' stat, it was just all their stats. They have and they played all four of the quarterbacks over there. Okay, Andy. Patrick Mahomes was 8 for 13, 143 yards, averaging 11 yards, one touchdown, zero interceptions, zero sacks. Not surprised there. We're not surprised there. Chris Ola Dukin, I think that's how you say it. He had 50 yards, zero touchdowns, zero interceptions, but he was 1 for 3. Garner Minshew, 37 yards, zero touchdowns, zero interceptions, and he was 4 for 9. And then Bailey Zapp was 4 for 6, zero interceptions, zero touchdowns, zero sacks. Chris did get sacked once, actually. They need. I don't know that for them to be playing so good and be up to then turn around and lose that game. In my opinion, that's not a great problem to have. It's not. I feel like their backups are really mid. I don't want to say bad. They're really mid. Uh, yeah. They need to do something. They need to do something. They need to do something because you want to have some people that can be in the background that when they touch the field, they're just as good as your one. Nobody's ever going to be as good as your ones. Obviously, we know that. But like your twos need to be super close. Your twos need to be 1.5s. Okay? They don't need to be full two. They need to be 1.5. Ready to go. Okay? So I think they need to, they're going to have to pick it up over there. They're going to pick it up over there. They're going to be in some trouble. I mean, I think if everybody stays healthy on their side, that'd be great. But they're going to have to pick it up. Obviously, the Eagles beat the Jets 19-17. No surprise there. The Jets have to pick it up as well. The Jets have some working out to do. That's just that. I think they have a lot of good pieces, but their puzzle is just not together. The puzzle doesn't fit yet. The Vikings and the Titans. Vikings beat them 23-13. Cam Ward looks great. Cam Ward and Simmons were over on the sidelines laughing and chuckling. I told you that was going to be all right. I told you it wasn't no beef. I told you the media was trying to make it more than what it was. And that's just that. Falcons, Cowboys. I did watch that game. The Cowboys defense stuttered a little bit, but they looked good. They looked great. Seems very cohesive. Rochelle over there was doing good. Blue's going to make that team for sure. And a few others. Deuce Vaughn had a couple good runs. So, the team looked on paper. should be a really good team on paper. It's just a matter of how they put it together and make their puzzle looks like it fits. Obviously, they have George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. So the whole goal is to basically, George Pickens is a good deep ball receiver. So the whole thing is, figuring out if you put both of them on the field at the same time, who's going to cover who when it come down to that. So I think that's something that they want to have and put out and present when it's time for them to play to make them more competitive. So I think, that's so far about the games that happened so far. We'll see what happens with the rest of the day. But I'm going to get over here because I got to get going. I got to go get dressed. I got to fix my little shoop doop 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 doop. But thanks for sitting on here with me. Thank everybody who checked in, even if you checked out. It's fine. But I'll see you guys on the next one. I love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you subscribe on all social media platforms at Pretty Girls Love Sports. You can even type it in at PG Love Sports. I love you for all that you do. Make sure you are tuning in and watching my clips. And yeah, just keep supporting. I'm going to keep being here because that's what I do. So thanks for getting ready with me. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.